morning everyone. So students, today let's complete the remaining part of chapter number 8, small business and enterprises. Well, in the previous video what we have discussed, do you remember students? In the previous video we have talked about the small scale industries. On what basis do we decide either this is micro industries, it is small industries, or it is medium industry? Okay, these all things we have learned, and we have learned what role this small scale industry is playing in the rural India and in our Indian economy. Okay, and we have discussed about the problems of small scale industry. So as we have discussed that government is having so many benefits from the small scale industry. It's doing a lot of work of the government, as these industries are providing employment, and equally they are spreading the income. Okay, we can say that equal distribution of the wealth is available due to these small scale industries. Fine. So government is doing a lot of work to promote all these industry, as these are very helpful for the Indian economy. Okay, so government has started certain schemes through these institutions. Government has set up institutions which are helping in a different way to these small scale industry. Some institutions they have set up for the finance, some they have instituted for other kind of guidance, technological help, and other kind of things. I mean, it's doing a lot from all the way for these small scale industry. Okay, so it is providing certain incentives also. So what are all these things? Let's see through this topic. Government schemes and agencies. So government has started certain schemes and agencies for the betterment of these small scale industry. So it is telling the first one, which is it is doing for the small scale industry, that is measures to face competition. What it is doing, it is making these industries capable to face any kind of competition. So it's telling that the government designs various measures to protect small scale industries from the competition of large scale industry. We have discussed in the previous class that it is competing with large scale industries in the country, and of course outside of the country also. I mean, on the international basis it has to face the competition. So government is protecting these industries. So this includes what? The government reserve. What government has done, in fact, government reserved 800 items exclusive production by the small scale industry. So government has reserved 800 items, means these items are reserved for small scale industry. No other industry, I mean the large industry, can't manufacture these items. So there will not be any competition regarding these 800 items. So this is done by the government. Next, the government started giving priority in allocation of the raw material, imported components and equipments to small scale sector. What government has done? Government has given the privileges to the small scale industry while distributing the raw material and allocation of certain other technical guidance, components and equipments. Okay, so first they are providing to the small scale industry, then number comes of anybody else. Second solid work which is done by the government is measures to solve the problem of finance. So it is solving the financial problems by providing what? Long-term and short-term loans at a reasonable rate of interest. If they take loan, these small-scale industries, so rate of interest will be reduced for this one. Subsidies they are providing on the capital assets, 10 to 15% subsidy. Then excise duty exemption up to 1 crore of production. Students, I have told you what is excise duty. Excise duty is charged on the production. So they have given the relaxation up to 1 crore. Agar aapka 1 crore tak ka production hai, so you don't have to pay the excise duty. Then up to 24% equity participation in the small scale industry by other industrial unit. Any other industrial unit can participate in that 24% of the equity. Then fiscal concessions like exemption from excise duty, subsidies and tax holidays, means taxes relaxation they have given. Okay, so this way government is helping in the field of finance to the small scale industry. Next, it is solving the problems related to marketing. So it's telling government try to solve their marketing problems by improving information and bringing producers and dealers into close contact with each other. Producers and dealers, they are in close contact, so they don't, I mean, this is one of the way of marketing. They are making these dealers aware with the product which are produced by these people, by the small scale industry. Another important work which is done, in order to provide guarantee for sale, the government gives preference up to 15% on some of the products sold by the small firms. So they are giving the guarantee that 15% items will be sold by them. Okay, guarantee for sale they are giving. Next, the National Small Industries Corporation (NSIC) assists small firms in obtaining a greater share of the government and defense purchases. So this institution, we will study in detail about this institution. So this institution has also come forward to help the small scale industry in different way. Then we will talk about the incentives. Students, what is incentive? First you understand. See, certain things we are helping financially. Financially you are providing, finance you are providing for something, or some other help you are providing. But incentive means at the concessional rates you are providing certain things. So the first incentive which is provided by the government is land. Availability of land at the concessional price, this is one of the things. If someone is willing to start the business in the rural area, so government is providing the land at concessional rate, so people are willing. If you go to the urban area, the prices will be very high. If you go to the rural area, so the prices will be at concessional rate. And then power. So some states supply power at a concessional rates, and some states, that depends upon state to state also. Some states they have given exemption for a few years that if it is small scale industry, so in the starting years, initial years, you don't have to pay any bill for the electricity, for the power. Okay, this is also given by them. So this is your incentives. Okay, next is water. Some states they are charging only the cost of that, no profit, no loss. And some states they have given the exemptions for a few years, that for few years you don't have to pay any bill, or you can say the 5 years, depends upon place to place. Then sale tax. In all union territories, although the sale tax is not applicable right now, we have a GST and certain other changes also takes place. But some states they have given exemption from this also, as it is small scale industry. To promote these all things, to promote the sale, they have given relaxation from this too. Next is octroi, which has been abolished right now. Octroi is a local tax which is paid when you change the territory of your state. Okay. Then raw materials. Small industries are allotted scarce raw material like cement, iron and steel etc. on priority basis. Well, these are the scarce raw material easily you don't get, but government is providing these kind of raw material to the small scale industries at the priority basis, means first it will be given to them. Then comes the finance. Subsidy of 10 to 15% for building capital assets like machineries and all that. Loans are offered at the concessional rate. And the last one is tax holiday. Sorry. Tax holiday means these small scale industries don't have to pay tax for a few years for promoting them. So these all were your incentives. Well, students, the important thing that is institutions. Government has established certain institutions for the help and support of these small scale industries. In fact, the things which we have talked, they are providing at concessional rates, so and so, incentives. So who is going to give that? Government is not coming from the Prime Minister, doesn't mean only the government. Okay, so there is a proper system which works for that. So all these benefits and certain other benefits which we will be studying, so all these benefits will be provided through certain institutions. So government has established certain institution for help and support of these small scale industries. So what are these institutions? Here in this chapter we will study these 8 institutions. This is NABARD, NSIC, IBPS, RSBDC and so on. So okay, so all these 8 institutions we will study here. So let's proceed with your first one, that is NABARD, and its full form is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. And students, focus on the name of this. The rest of the things will be clear to you very easily. So it's telling that National Bank, this is on the national level. Second, it's working for agriculture and rural development. Okay. So it provides financial support to agriculture, small industries, cottage and village industries and the rural artisans in hilly area as well. Now it offers counseling and consultancy services. If somebody needs any help, they are not known to the initial thing. So these institutions are helping them, guiding them, and counseling. The work of counseling they are doing for those. It also organizes training and development program for the rural entrepreneurs. Some people they are ready to start their work their own, okay, but they don't know how to do that. So for these kind of people, they are arranging some training programs, okay. So all these things are done by this NABARD, okay. Now next one is your NSIC. This was set up in 1955 with a view to fulfill its mission of promoting, aiding and fostering the growth of small industries and industries related micro, small and medium enterprises in the country. Students, all these institutions, one thing will be very common, that all these institutions are set up to help and support the small scale industries, okay. In one or another way, these all are helping them. So over a period of 5 decades of transition, growth and development, NSIC has proved its strength within the country and abroad by promoting modernization. Means after some time, of course, over a decade of 5 years, we have noticed that it has done a great job in this field. Not only in the country, even outside of the country, they have done a good job by promoting modernization, upgradation of technology, quality, consciousness, strengthening linkages with large medium enterprises and enhancing export projects, right students? So these all benefits are provided by this institution. In fact, what are the functions of this? All these functions which we have done, they have given in the proper way. This does what? To supply domestic and imported machines on easy hire purchase system. Second, to procure, supply and distribute indigenous and imported raw materials. Well, if one single person go to buy these things, so it is not easily available. So this institution is providing all the required thing, indigenous and imported. Indigenous raw material which is available in the country, imported means which they have purchased from outside of the country, that is also provided by this one. To export the products of small business units and develop export worthiness, to provide mentoring and advisory services, it is giving technological business incubators, it is providing to create awareness and technological upgradation, it is giving to develop software technology parks and technology transfer centers. So, I mean, all these facilities are provided by this institution. That's your National Small Industries Corporation. Try to understand its name. National Small Industries Corporation. It is helping these industries. Okay. Now next we have third one, that is district industrial centers. Focus on the name. District industrial center. The previous one was on the national level and this is on the district level. So this DIC program was launched on 1st May 1978. Students, you should know the full form of all these institutions that can be asked in your exam. 1 mark question can be there. So it laid special stress on the development of small cottage and village industries in a particular area. As its name is telling that this is working on the district level, so it is focusing on all these small kind of industries. It's focusing on this village industry, small and cottage industries. The main objective of DIC is to make available all necessary services at one place. The finances for setting up DIC in state are contributed equally by the particular state government and the central government. They are contributing equally. Hope it is clear. Okay. So you should go through all these institutions' work very carefully and just prepare your notes properly, and you will find certain common things are there. You can write at one place and this will be common. So you can save your time and energy that way. Next we have the Rural Small Business Development Center, that is RSBDC. So what this institution is doing, this was set up by World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises. Remember students, this is established by World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises and sponsored by NABARD and RSBDC, which we have discussed first two. So this is sponsored by those one, means they were financing this one, okay, help they were doing. For what? This RSBDC aims to provide management and technical support to current and prospective micro and small industries in the rural area. All these things are interrelated because that's of the government. So if they require help, so they are providing. So RSBDC has organized several programs on entrepreneurship, their skill upgradation, training and awareness, etc. in various rural areas to cover the large number of rural unemployed youth and women in several trades. Okay, so whatever they need, whatever material, technology, finance, any advice, any training programs, so these all things are made available by these institutions. Next we have NCEUS, that's the National Commission for Enterprises, National Commission for Enterprises in the Unorganized Sector. If you go through the name properly, you try to understand, so what we are going to study inside this topic, that is clear. Okay, so this is working for unorganized sector. So what it is doing, this NCEUS was constituted in September 2004 with the following objectives for small enterprises. This is what? To improve their productivity, unorganized sectors regarding we are talking, to generate large-scale employment opportunity, particularly in the rural area, then to enhance competitiveness in the emerging global environment, to link the sector with other institutions in the area of credit, raw material, infrastructure, technology upgradation, marketing, any kind of help is provided, to formulate suitable arrangements for skill development. Okay, all these things are provided by this institution. Well, next we have rural and women entrepreneurship development. As its name is telling students, once again I'm telling you, focus on this, understand the name and try to read and then explain. Rural and Women Entrepreneurship Development. This institution is working in the field of the rural area especially and women entrepreneurship. They are promoting the rural areas and women entrepreneurship. So what it is doing, its main objectives are to create a business environment that encourages initiatives of rural and women entrepreneurship. Second, to promote entrepreneurial dynamism and enhance productivity. Okay. Third, to provide training and training manuals to the women entrepreneurs, and then to render any other advisory services. Understood that? Hope it is clear. Working in the field of rural and women entrepreneurship area, any kind of help which is required by these ones, so it is provided. Next we have WASME, that is World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises. Focus on the name. World Association. This is not only on the national level. World Association se bana hai. Okay. And for what? This is for small and medium enterprises. So what are the schemes under this? The first one is Integrated Rural Development Program is commenced by these one. Integrated Rural Development Program, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, might have listened many times. Now training of rural youth for self-employment. Okay, this is also a part of this. Training for rural youth self-employment, as we have studied in the startups. Then Jawahar Rozgar Yojana, might have listened in the news. Then development of women and children in the rural area. So all these works are done by this World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises. Okay. And last one we have, that is scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries, supporting. Students, we know that some traditional industry, not some, many small scale industries that traditionally, these were working traditionally, these were not having the machines, only the handmade things were there, and this is not promoted by the customers. So these are declared as a sick, and few industries they have shut down also. So this institution is working for those one. So scheme of fund. So it is providing a kind of scheme which is working for the regeneration of the traditional industry. So it's telling the central government created a special fund in 2005 to make the traditional industries more productive and competitive. The government started this fund by investing rupees 100 crore and uses the fund to achieve following objectives. Means for what this fund will be utilized, the objectives. The first one, to set up traditional industries in various parts of the country. means not only one, the different parts of the country, they must set up this kind of industry. Second, to improve the technology of traditional industries in order to make them competitive, profitable and sustainable. What is this? They have used this one to make the industries competitive, means they should be at this level that they can compete any kind of other industry, profitable, that should run in the profit, and sustainable, that means this can work year after year, that can remain in the market for a long time of the period. Next, to create sustained employment opportunities in traditional industry. They are making at this level that these industries must provide the employment to a lot of people. Okay. So these were the schemes of fund for regeneration of the traditional industries, right students? So here we have discussed all these 8 institutions in brief, or you can say in detail. I tell you students which problem you are going to face in these points. You will have certain things common, okay, but everything has a little difference according to their name. So you should understand the meaning of their name and then find out one important point, why this one is different from this one. Okay, so that you should keep in your mind and easily you can answer. While giving the answer, so you must give the gist of these topics. It's not that this much paragraph is given in the book, so you have to cram the whole one. No, like that. Okay. Well, the last topic of this chapter, that is incentives for enterprises in rural, backward and hilly area. In fact, students, we have already discussed about the incentives in one of the topic, that was government schemes and agencies. There we have talked. So these incentives are the same one, but I'm reading it for you. Right? I'll take 2 minutes for that. So Indian government has always given importance to the industries development of backward, tribal and hilly areas in all its 5-year plans and industrial policies. So government has also initiated several rural development programs to develop backward areas. The first incentive we can say, that is land. So it is providing land at the concessional rates if you are buying in the rural area, backward area or the hilly area, not in the urban area. Second one is power is supplied to small industries or small enterprises at concessional rates, and in some cases firms are even exempted from the payment of their initial years of the setup. In the starting you don't have to pay the bill of this electricity and power. Okay. Third one is regarding the water. So somewhere it is provided at the discount, 50% discount, and in some states you can say that's totally exempted in initial year. Depends upon the state government also. Next is your sales tax. It's telling that tax is exempted for such industries in all union territories, while some state exemption for 5 years period. Now this is GST. So that depends upon the government what changes they have done, and of course they provide the concession to the newly set up small scale industries. Then octroi, this has been abolished, we have talked. Raw material. So industries located in the backward area get preferential treatment in the allotment of the scarce raw material like cement, iron material, so and so. Finance, well, finance means we take loan from the bank, and these institutions are meant for these only. Some institutions, especially these, are providing loan to the small scale industry and they get loan at concessional prices. Then industrial estates. So some states encourage setting up of industrial estates in the backward area, and you get a lot of benefit as we are going through. We know that many benefits are there. Next we have tax holiday. Tax holiday means industries established in the backward, hilly and tribal area, they are totally exempted to pay the income tax and certain other taxes sometime, or sometime they give a time limit that for first 5 years you don't have to pay, or up to 10 years you don't have to pay the income tax. So that way they are promoting these small scale industries in the backward area especially. So what happens to these, the people who are thinking to establish their small scale industry at a comfortable place where you can have all the things, resources already set up. I'm talking about the urban area. Okay, here the development is there, easily you can have the facilities and all, but government is doing what? If you start your small scale industry in the backward area, you will be given certain benefits which you don't get in the urban area. So that is the planning of the government, and that way we are getting, I mean the Indian economy is getting a lot of benefit, right, which we have already discussed. Alright students, so here we have completed this chapter number 8. This was your small business and enterprises. I hope you got a little knowledge about the small scale businesses, small scale industries, and how do we decide, how do we call an industry that this is your micro industry, small scale industry, medium term industry, or the large scale industry. Okay, so that's all for today. Prepare your notes properly and learn all the topics. Right now students, you are staying at home, so there is no problem, still you have a time. Once you will start coming to the school, so you will short of time, so revise all these things properly and complete your homework timely.